This is a complete start to finish masterclass for Google Antigravity. While it's the most advanced agent-driven IDE available, most devs treat it like basic Copilot, making a massive mistake. So, I'm here to break down a 10-step roadmap you need to go from noob to pro. We'll be covering literally everything, from the initial configuration to custom MCP server integration. Plus, we are building projects live, which include an image-based layout clone, a modern product animated website, and also a fully deployed automation. But pay close attention to Module 3 on security if you don't want your local environment to break down. So let's start off by understanding what exactly Antigravity is. It is an agent-first model. Think of it as a driver while you relax in the backseat. All you need to do is define the destination. The agent figures out the routes, does the driving, and tells you when it hits a roadblock. While on the other hand, your normal code assistant would be like an instructor sitting next to you in the car, guiding you on how to drive. Now that creates a massive impact. So, if you want to shift from what code should I write to I want this specific application with these features, then you are in the right place. That is an architect mindset. It's a skill you'll build through this entire series. Now, let's talk about what makes Antigravity actually capable of this. There are three specific things working together. First, it has top-of-the-line models from different providers like Google Gemini 3.1, Claude Opus 4.6, etc. Second, it has an agent manager, a system for spawning multiple AI agents working in parallel like a team. And third, it has direct access to your tools, your terminal, your browser, your database, GitHub. Now, put these three things together and you get an agent that can plan, build, test, and deploy autonomously on your real project. So let's start off by installing. Head to antigravity.google and click on this download button right here. Now pick an installer according to your operating system as well as the architect. Once the installer is downloaded, run it and then accept the agreement. Click on the next button, choose the path to save your folder and install it. Click on the next option, create a shortcut, and lastly, make sure you check this item, which is create a desktop icon so that Antigravity will be added to your desktop for ease of your access. Now, click on the next button and start the installation by clicking on the install button. Now, here it will start installing and give it a second. As soon as it's done installing, you can click on this finish button while this launch Antigravity is checked so that the application will be launched. Now, as soon as the application launches, this is where most people get confused. Hit next, and this onboarding is pretty much simple. You just need to decide the editor theme. I'm going to go with the dark modern. Now, here's something that's interesting. You have 4 different options to configure your Antigravity agent right. So, what are these? Right now, the selected is review-driven development. That means every time your agent has any commands to run, any changes to make, it will ask for your permission and you'll have to give permission for everything. Other option that you have is the agent-driven development where the terminal execution as well as review policy and the JavaScript execution policy are all on always proceed. That means whenever the agent has any sort of commands to run in the terminal, it will proceed. Review policies allows the agent to continue with implementation plans and task lists without the need to get a feedback from you. And the terminal execution is for the command line, whereas JavaScript execution is for in-browser command, which we'll see later on. So I would recommend you to go with the review-driven, which is the default setting anyways, and hit next. You can then switch up your key binding to Vim if you use that editor, but I'm going to stick to normal, and for extensions, I'm going to Again, stick to recommended. And lastly, you'll have to sign in with your Google account. Before we take a full tour of this interface right here, let me show you how to open or create a workspace, because everything in Antigravity lives inside one. A workspace is basically just a folder in which your projects would live. You can click on this open folder button and open any of the folder where you want to save your projects, or create one if you don't already have. So right now I've opened a fresh folder, but you can use an existing local folder or even clone a GitHub repository. So we are in a clean workspace, which is divided into 3 parts. The most important section is right here, which is the agent chat. This is where you can interact with your agent, give it instructions, check out the output, etc. In the center, you have a file viewer, and on your left, you'll have a file explorer where all your different files would live. If you notice and pay close attention, you'll see this is structured in the same way as VS Code. So if you're familiar with that, you would know you have extension in this sidebar as well. Now on top, you'll have different options like the file where you can open new folder, file, add a workspace, close the folder or the window, etc. Then another option in this toolbar would be the terminal, which can be useful if you want to run any program. Also, if you take a look, you'll find an agent manager. If I open that, here's what you'll get. This is the mission control, the place where you dispatch multiple agents, track their processes, review the plans, and manage build tasks. We'll get into that in detail later on. Back in your editor, you also have a few settings which will be covered in our module 3. So that's our interface we are going to be working throughout this whole video. Also, if anytime you want to switch out your Google account, you can simply head to this profile button right here, choose the Google Auth and sign out, and then sign in with a new account. We even have a built-in browser. The agent can navigate through, check the layout, interact with it, and fix what it sees, all without you doing anything. And here's where you can open it, but most probably you won't even need to open it because the agent would do it themselves. And we'll see this in action in the next module. Now that our foundation is clear, it's time to create something. This segment is all about building something real. By the end of this module, you'll have completed the project 1, your first full build in Antigravity. And we are going to be learning the most important skill, that is how to give agent context it can actually use. The quality of output is directly proportional to the quality of context you provide. To prove this point, here I have a website that was created using a really simple prompt, which was build me an interior designing company's landing page. And the agent built this. It is functional, looks good, has hero section, navigation bar working, but it's literally like every other generic landing page template. And that's not the agent's fault, that's the prompt's fault. A vague prompt produces a vague result every single time. Now here's the good news. I'm about to teach you how to give most structured, detailed, as well as context-aware prompts. Now, starting off, we are going to be adding a few references for our website. So, in our workspace, I'm going to be creating a new folder by clicking on this button right here, naming it references, and adding a few images. You can get your references from either Dribble or any website of your choice. Simply take a screenshot of whatever website you like and add it to this folder right here. So these are a few reference images that I have, and now let's move on to actual prompting and using our agent chat right here. Before we talk about how to add our references, let's take a look at this chat box. We have a few different options, starting off by the mode of our conversation. You have two options. Either you can choose the planning mode, which is more convenient when you are creating more detailed and complex projects. This mode forces your agent to plan before executing anything, meaning it would create an implementation plan, task list, ask for your approval before proceeding to creating anything. Whereas the fast mode is when you want the result quicker, usually used when you are creating simple projects like the one that we are creating right now. So, I'm going to stick with the fast mode, and up next, here are your choices for the model that you can use in Antigravity. Starting off strong, we have Gemini 3.1 Pro, and there are two options for that, the high thinking and the low thinking. Next, we have Gemini 3 Flash, which is apparently really good model that can be used for HTML, CSS, as well as design. Like I said before, we have model options from different providers. So we have Claude Sonnet 4.6 as well as Claude Opus 4.6, which are both an excellent choice when we are trying to create backend. We also have GPT OSS, which is real cute for documentation, testing, and review. Now that you understand which model is good for what purposes, you can choose your model accordingly. Right now, we are just creating a simple website, so I'm going to stick with Gemini 3 Flash because apparently that's good for designing, and as you can see in my reference images, we need a good designer. Now, let's talk about adding these reference images. Honestly, this is one of the most practical skills you'll use in real work. Someone sends you a screenshot and says, make it look like this website. If it weren't for this referencing, you would spend days trying to manually recreate those images. But in Antigravity, it's really simple. Head to your chat box, click @ and you'll see all the different things that you can reference. Right now, we are going to refer a file, select the file option, and it will give you a list of files that can be referred. Now, this doesn't mean you can only refer images. It can be anything, any sort of document, even your code file. Now, a smart thing to do would be to not refer each and every screenshot over here and rather refer the whole directory. So I'll choose the directory option and choose the directory which is references, and that's it. The reference has been added to your prompt. Now what you need to do is actual prompt. So instead of just typing in your website that looks like the screenshot, use a prompt that looks something like this. Here, I've mentioned clearly that I want to use the reference images as visual guide. I've asked to replicate the layout, structure, typography, visual designing, etc. And to actually put the agent to test, I'm going to switch up the website from an interior design website to a digital marketing agency's landing page. So I've made the changes in my prompt. We already have set everything else up, and it's time to send our first prompt error. So I'm going to hit send. This will start the generation. See this, it started off by analyzing all our images in the reference folder, and now it's creating images for our website. While that's happening, let me talk about these things right here above your chat box. So these are basically all the different options to access what your agent is doing currently. Like the first option is to check out the changes that it has made and in what file those changes have been made. Like here you have the index.css as well as index.html which have been added. You can now accept these changes, reject them, or even switch to view all the different files that have been changed. If we go back, we have the second option, which is the terminal item. Here you can check out any terminal which are running in the background by the agent. Right now, we don't have any terminals in the background, so you are seeing 0 background processes. Up next, you have artifacts. Here you'll see files that were created by the agent while this whole conversation. In our case, we have 4 different artifacts which are all the images that have been created by our agent. And lastly, you'll see this browser icon where you can check out any browser page that are active. Like this was the website that I showed you before, and to open it again you can simply click on this launch button. So our agent is done creating the website that we had assigned it, and it's time to take a look at it. Now as you can see, it's an index.html file. You can either open up your directory in your file explorer and open this file using any of your browsers, or you can ask your agent to run this application and give a link, or just open it in the browser. And it's now asking me permission to run this command, which I'll give. And check this out, the agent has now opened the website in the browser. Not only that, it did open the browser on its own, and now it has scrolled to check whether or not the whole website is looking fine. Okay, so check out, this is the finished website, and it closely resembles our reference image with all the different typography and the layouts that are being used. Also, this was the footer in the reference image, and it did a pretty good job. So we just learned how to reference images, give context to our agent, basic things before we actually send out our prompt, and up next we'll be setting our safety to protect the machine from an agent with terminal access. I'll be real with you, this is a configuration module and nothing flashy, but skipping this might end up with an agent that runs a destructive terminal command on your machine, deleting something you can't recover. So we'll be looking through the anti-gravity setting, which you can access by clicking on this button right here in your status bar. Now that will take you to the agent setting. These are the settings that we already configured in our onboarding process, and these are the settings that we don't really use because those are for when you're actually accessing the file that the agent has created. But what we need to do is go to the advanced settings, which will open up this security setting window right here. Now in here, move on to the terminal setting, which is this right here. So as you know, we have already set the terminal policy to agent request review, meaning the agent will always ask for confirmation before executing any of the terminal commands. Now, other option that you get is to always proceed, which means that the agent never asks for the confirmation and executes the terminal command directly. It only pauses for the commands it detects as potentially destructive. That means the agent has the judgment of whether or not the command should be executed with the permission of the user. So it's best to keep your terminal command auto execution as the request review setting. If you scroll further down, you'll see the allow list for terminal commands as well as a deny list for your terminal command. Now these are powerful than the top level policy because they let you be specific on what commands to allow even in a request review mode and what not to allow even in an automatic mode. So the commands that you'll be adding in the allow list will be executed without permission no matter what policy is set to. As you can see, we have an EX create app added to our allow list command. You can add all the commands that you know you'll be running constantly, like get status or npm run dev. These are the commands that are used frequently. I'm going to add it by using this add button right here. All you have to do is just enter in the command, hit enter, and it will be added. Now the deny list is the complete opposite of our allow list. A list of commands the agent never runs, no matter what happens. My recommendation is to start your deny list with these commands. First and foremost is this rmrf, which is used to forcibly delete any kind of file, and we don't want our agent running around deleting any of our files. So that's the first in my deny list. Up next, I'm going to add sudo that will limit my agent from running any elevated permissions command. So these are a few command recommendations that you should add to your deny list, and they will cover vast majority of scenarios where an agent could do damage, which now is not possible. Also, an important note is Adding something to the denial list doesn't mean the agent can't do the underlying task. It means it has to ask you first and you execute the command manually. The agent can still guide you to run these commands, and you'll have to manually enter them in your terminal and execute them. Now, let's take a look at our browser setting. Again, in our browser tab of our settings, you have your browser URL allow list as well. This controls what URL your agent can visit, and by default, it's wide open. Now, if you want to restrict it, you can remove all the unnecessary URLs. Actually, these are the URLs that my agent has actually visited, so that's why they have been added. But if you want to restrict it to particular domains, websites, or even your local environment, you can simply just add those links, and those would be the sites your agent can visit using the browser. Other than that, you'll see this browser JavaScript execution policy. Right now, it's at disabled, but you can either push it to request review or always proceed. If you're wondering what this is useful for, well, in cases where you want your agent to run tests which are UI and visual heavy, meaning things like checking the website, the layout, functionality, whether or not something is working, the designing is as we discussed or not. That's when the JavaScript executions comes in handy, because our agent can't physically scroll through our website or click some button, type a few things in our form, but it uses JavaScript to do so. So if you want, and it is recommended to keep the setting as request review, meaning every time your agent has to execute a command in your browser, it will ask for your permission. A quick tip: if you're using a free account, there's another useful setting which you can access here in the model, where you will be able to see the model quota left for you. As you can see, we have been using Gemini 3 Flash, so it's at 80%. Other than that, all my models are at 100% and they will be refreshed in a week. So in Google Antigravity, you get a week's worth of credit, so you can use them accordingly. Last topic of this module is extension. As I pointed out, this whole interface is similar to VS Code, so you can access your extensions from this sidebar extension menu, and Antigravity is built on a fork of VS Code. This means it supports extensions that are available in OpenVSX registry. So you can go ahead, download a few important extensions you feel like you require in your workspace. I mean, for me, I've pretty much only installed Prettify extension, Python extension, and this markdown viewer. So install whichever are relevant to your project you're building, but do check out your installed extension before you do that, because there are a lot of pre-installed extensions available as well. Now, those are a few underlying settings which you need to know for your security reason. But up next, we are going deeper into the concepts of anti-gravity. Everything we have done so far has been in this editor view right here. Very familiar, just like VS Code, but in this section, we are going to be jumping onto the other half of Antigravity, which is the agent manager. This is one of the features of Antigravity that not only makes your work easier, but also saves so much time. Now, here's the question worth asking. If the chat panel right here in the editor view already lets you talk to an agent, why does separate agent manager surface exist at all? Now, the answer is pretty clear. Like the name itself suggests, it's an agent manager. So what we have right here is synchronous. You wait, it responds, you wait again, and it responds again. It's like a conversation going back and forth with an assistant sitting right next to you. But the agent manager does things differently. Instead of a single assistant, it works as a team. You can open up 4 or 5 different agents, assigning them different tasks, and all of that would work simultaneously at a given time. Meaning, what would have taken you 10 minutes in this chat right here would take you 2 minutes and 5 different tabs. So you are multiplying your output, not just work faster on one thing, but work on several things at a time. Now, let's actually try to use it and know about it. So we can open your agent manager from over here. You can either click on this button or use this shortcut, which is Ctrl+E, which lets you switch from your agent manager to your editor and vice versa. Okay, so this is the interface. First thing that we see is these conversation on our left. Now, all the conversation are divided into categories and bifurcated according to the workspaces. Like right now, we have one conversation in our Antigravity folder and another one in our playground category. Now, what is this playground? So, as the name suggests, it's a place where you can experiment things, test out new features or ideas you have. In case you end up with something good, don't worry, because you will be able to take it and turn it into an actual workspace. And to do so, all you have to do is go to the conversation where you have made something good. In here, you'll see this folder icon on top. Click on that and that will ask you to choose a folder where you want to move all the progress you have made in this playground so far. So all you have to do is click on this choose folder, select a folder, and check this out. Your selected folder is now under workspaces instead of just playground. But you'll have to start a new conversation in this workspace for it to appear down here. And to do so, you can either use the start new conversation button and then select your workspace from this drop down over here, or you can simply click on this add, which is the new conversation button for specific workspace. And then you can go ahead, type in anything you'd like. Also, to add an existing workspace into your Antigravity, you can click on this new conversation next to the workspaces option and it will open up this box right here. Now here you can either open a folder or a remote workspace. If you select any of the folders, it will be added to your workspaces, meaning you can now use Antigravity in your selected folder. So we understood the layout, the interface that Agent Manager offers, but what exactly is its purpose? So like I explained, you can have multiple conversations, and to demonstrate that, I'm going to be using this interior website workspace, which was the demo website I created from a single simple prompt. So following that, I'm going to ask it to create 2 different pages in 2 different conversations. Alright, so here's my prompt for this conversation to build an about this page, which is following this designing scheme as well as styling from the landing page. Now, I'm going to add another conversation into this website itself, and for this one, I'm creating a portfolio page. Now see this, both of them are working simultaneously, and if you follow along while your agent is actually generating its response, you'll see that your agent even creates images for you. Like this right here is an agent generated image using Gemini 3.1 Flash image model. Also, while it's working, you'll see some changes being made in this side panel right here. So basically, you can see your media artifacts, or if there were any file artifacts, you could see them over here as well. And you can review the changes that have been made to the files. So basically, whatever we had in our agent chat is the same, but the placement has changed. Now, both of our pages have been made, as you can see. Okay, and as for the results, this was our landing page, and now if I click on this full story button, it will take me to the about us page, which is actually following the designing as well as the style of our initial landing page. And lastly, we have this portfolio page, which is again different standalone page, and it is similar to the portfolio section that we have in our landing page. But the catch was that you didn't have to wait like 10 minutes for these two pages to be created by a single chat. Instead, you just asked for different pages to different agents. Now, this was the smallest possible use case of Agent Manager because it's such a simple website, but you can actually divide your single page, single task into multiple different parts, and that's basically called orchestration. And when we create our second project, I would get into the details of how exactly you should divide your task into different agents to maintain the high quality of your project, not have any conflicts while still speeding up the whole thing. So let me switch back to my editor, and whatever we have seen so far would be considered as a beginner getting familiar with this platform altogether. But moving forward, we are stepping up our game. We are going on to the intermediate level. I want to address the thing that silently wastes more time in Antigravity than almost anything else. So, every time you try to create a new project, you will notice that you have to do a set of things, give a set of instructions. Like for a simple website, you have to mention that created in HTML and CSS, follow this naming convention, etc. Now, these are a few repeated instructions that you have to give in every single task or every single project. So, a feature you have in Antigravity can eliminate this, which is rules and workflows. Every developer has a set of standards they work to. Maybe it's a style guide, maybe it's a specific folder structure you have, maybe it's how you handle errors, or your CSS methodology. But those standards exist in your head, and to add it to your AI agent, you have to put them in prompt every single time. Therefore, we are going to create some rules. Now, let me show you how to add your rules, where to find it, and how exactly it works. So, in your charge panel right here, click on this additional options, and here you'll see customization. This is where you will be able to create rules. There are two options even while creating your rules. Either you want global rule, these should be the rules that should apply to each and every project, like a global styling rule or security rule, etc. And a workspace specific rule. So let's say you're working on some complex project that has a lot of security risks. So you can define some sort of rule which makes sure that your AI agent doesn't put your security at risk. Also, the workspace rules can be used for specific standards like the tech stack this project uses, naming convention in this specific database, and information about any external APIs that you're going to integrate. Now, let's start off by creating a global rule first. Simply click on this global button and it will open up an editor right here with the file called gemini.md. Now, this is the content I've added to my global rules, which is to use TypeScript and only use JavaScript when it is explicitly mentioned. Then I've added rule about which library to use, what variables to use, how to handle exceptions and errors, and basically these are all specific to me and the kind of projects that I would work on. You have to customize your own global rules, but the format is pretty simple. Think of what all do you want to be followed in each and every single project, and add that to your file as well as the global rules right here. Now, as you can see, as soon as you write up this file, it will be added to your rule. Similarly, if you create a workspace rule, you'll have to add in the name of the rule that you are creating. It should be named, after which it will open up this right here. Now, for workspace specific rule, you can actually select when do you want it to be activated. you can either choose manual, where you'll have to explicitly mention your rule in your prompt, which I'll show you how you can do that, or you can keep it always on. There's another option as well, which is model decides. So if this specific rule has some sort of data and detail or instruction that needs to be followed all the time, you should keep it on always on. If it is more specific, then you can keep it on manual. But right now, this is very generic to our whole workspace. So here's what my rule looks like. It talks about the specific workspace that I'm using this rule for, where I want to use Next.js and Supabase as the database. Along with that, I've mentioned a few things like the components are in this specific folder, basically describing the folder structure. Next up, the rule is to add tailwind instead of normal CSS. So this is all a compact rule that I've created, but if you want, you can make multiple rules. Like, let's say this is one rule with different sets of instruction. But if you want, you can divide this into 4 or 5 different rules. Like using Next.js with app router can be a rule in itself, and we can call it Next.js rule. Then this specific folder structure can be another rule. We can call it folder structure rule. Next up, we can have a different rule for Tailwind CSS. You get my point. Create all the different rules for different purposes. So that was how you can create rules for different scope like global and workspace. And the rules are basically standing orders. But if you want a playbook, you can switch to workflow. Next to rules, you'll find this workflow tab where you can create again global or workspace specific workflows. What are workflows? They are basically reusable prompt pipeline that you trigger with a single command. So some tasks are repetitive not because they're standards, but because they are structured. Like every time you finish a feature, you want to generate unit tests. Every time you're about to push, you want a code review to pass. These aren't complex tasks, but they do require specific well-crafted prompt to do it. That's where workflows come in handy. You write a prompt, save it, and it will be triggered forever by using a simple command. So let me show you how to create your workflow. First off, I'm going to create a global workflow again by clicking on this button right here, and I'll have to name it. So we are calling it generate unit test. Hit enter and it will open up the screen right here. Now you have to add a little description for your workflow. So here's the description of what exactly does this workflow does. And in the content, you'll be adding the prompt that you are creating the workflow for, which should be reused every time. And this is what the content looks like. Well, it might seem like an advanced prompt, but it's basic when you are trying to create production-ready project. The prompt specifies that all the files in our current directory should be reviewed, and a comprehensive unit test should be created using the project's existing test framework. Every test should have clear description explaining what needs to be verified, and an individual test directory should be created to put all these test cases. Now, every time you have a product or a website ready to push, you can simply run this workflow here. It will create the test suites, and you can then use those to verify whether or not your application is working fine. Similarly, you can create simpler workflows as well, like this one is for code review, where the workflow basically just checks the current working directory look for potential bugs or any errors or even security vulnerabilities. It would check all the code that there aren't any of those, and then it would give back a report categorizing the results that were found. If there are any bugs or errors, it would be listed according to priorities. So, this is a pretty much useful workflow which can be implemented in each and every project of yours. Other than that, you can also create specific workspace oriented workflows to minimize you repeating certain same prompt. Now, let me show you what using these actually looks like. Going back to my agent, you can access your workflow by simply typing in / in your chat, and then all the workflows that you have in place will be displayed. So I'm going to use the code review workflow, and I don't need additional info regarding this because that's literally the prompt that will be entered. So I'm going to simply hit enter. Okay, it has come up with the results, and here's what it looks like. It has given us critical issues that we should look into. First off is the responsive layout failure. It tells us the problem as well as how to fix it. And just like that, it goes on to referring important issues as well as a few suggestions. Now you can use this information and your agent to fix them. So rules eliminate instruction drift and workflows eliminate prompt rewriting. Together, they transform the agent from capable assistant into something that behaves like a developer who has been working with your standards for months. Now, in the next section, we are going to be adding something completely different to our picture: external connections. We'll be giving our agent hands the ability to reach outside the IDE, interact with real tools like databases, GitHub, deployment platforms, and it's called MCP. It changes what's possible. It changes everything that's possible with Antigravity. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It is an open standard published by Anthropic that creates a universal way for AI agents to communicate with external tools and services. Let me give you an analogy that makes this click immediately. Think about what it was like plugging in electronics 10 years back. You had a specific, weirdly shaped cable for your digital camera, a different cable for your printer, another one for your phone, and yet another for your external hard drive. Every device spoke a different language to your computer, but eventually the tech industry agreed on a standard USB-C. Now, your laptop only needs one type of port. As long as your phone, monitor, or hard drive has a USB-C connection, they can talk instantly to your laptop using that single universal cable. This is the same case with MCP. The computer is your model, like Gemini or Claude, who is incredibly smart, but they are isolated. To be useful, they need to look into your stuff, like your calendar, computer files, company's databases, etc. Now, your stuff lives either in your local device or different other places like Google Drive, Slack, GitHub, databases. So, before MCP, the developer had to write custom complex code for AI to understand the Google Drive, how to access it, make API calls, etc. It was slow and exhausting. Now we have MCP. It is an open standard created so that AI models only have to learn one single way of connecting to outside information. And it doesn't mean just paste data from any source. It means actually interacting, like querying a live database, read a real production log, open the actual pull request from your repository, and stuff like that. In conclusion, MCP lets Antigravity have access to external tools, and here's exactly how you can use them. Again, you'll have to go to additional settings in your chat and click on the MCP servers. Now, this is the list of all the available MCP that you have right now in Antigravity. Let's start off by using one of them, which is GitHub. I'm going to scroll down, or you can even search for it in the search bar, and here you'll have a GitHub MCP. Now click on this download button to install this MCP, where you'll be asked to enter your personal access token. And almost all the MCPs that you'll be using, whether it's on this platform or any other platform, they will ask for you to authenticate or provide some sort of API key. Except all the Google MCP that you'll be using in Antigravity, because you're already authenticated using your Google account, so you don't need to add in any API keys for that. But for now, in our GitHub, we are going to go and grab our personal access token. You're going to head to github.com, make sure you're logged in, then in your profile, click on this settings, and here if you scroll down enough in the settings, you'll find developers setting. This will give you 3 other options. You're going to select the personal access token, and in this you are going to choose, either of them are fine, but I'm going to select the fine-grained tokens. Now I already have another token, but you will probably not see anything right here, and click on this generate new token button. In here you'll have to give a token name, description if you'd like. I would skip it. Then there are a few options that you need to take a look at. First off is the expiration of this token. I'm going to set it to 7 days. And second is the scope of the token, or the amount of access that this token has. So you will choose one of these 3 options. I would recommend to stick only to public repositories. But if you want to work on your private repositories using this MCP, you can choose all repository option as well. After doing that, this is the most important part, because without this, your connection would be made, but anytime you try to run some sort of GitHub command, it would not work because you don't have any permissions. To add permissions, click on this add permission, and here you'll have to search up the permissions that needs to be added. Like if you're using the MCP to push some sort of code or pull some sort of code from your repositories, then you have to add permissions accordingly. But as default, if you're choosing the public repository option, you get only read-only access. So I'm going to switch to all repositories so that I can show you what all different permission options you have. Here's the list. I would recommend you to go through it and add only the necessary permissions. First off would be actions, second would be pull requests, and last permission that would add is the content permission that would allow this token to access repositories, content, commits, branches, etc. Now, once you have added the permission, you will have to change the access as well according to your need. In case you autonomously want your agent to push code or pull requests, then you'll have to change the access from read only to read and write. That way it can actually publish or make changes to your directory. Once that's done, once all the permissions have been added and the access has been assigned, then you can go ahead, generate the token, copy it and add it back over here. Save this and your MCP is installed. Now what you see here is an error because my Docker is not connected. In case you don't have Docker installed in your computer, this error will be thrown. So make sure you have Docker installed and running. I just started my Docker desktop application and then refreshed. Now you can see my MCP is enabled without any errors. If you want a deeper dive into your MCP settings, you can look into your tools. Now these are actually what makes your MCP able to interact with the application that it is assigned for. So basically you have all these different tools, and in case you're not using a few of them or don't require them, you can turn them off because there is a limit to how many MCPs and tools you can keep turned on. So each of these tools comes with a description that you can read and turn off if that's not necessary for your workflow. Or if you're not using many MCPs, then you can leave all of them on. Now, to actually put this to test, we are going to be using the GitHub repository from my account and test out this MCP. Okay, so I've opened up a new workspace and now I'm first of all going to ask it to list all the repositories that we have. There we go. See this, the MCP tool has been called and that's where we'll get our information from. Alright, so check this out. It has pulled up a list of all the repositories that I have with their description as well as visibility and a link to the repository itself, meaning that our GitHub connection, the MCP, is actually working. Now, this demo shows you what MCP can do, but I would like to talk about some other MCPs as well that are actually functional and really useful in any sort of workflow. So again, in my additional option here, as you know, you have a lot of different options for all the different tools, but I want to talk about Supabase, which can be useful for databases. So here's your Supabase MCP. Now, developers who work with AI agent on data-driven features constantly run into same issue. The agent write SQL, that's wrong. Not because the agent doesn't know how to write SQL, but it doesn't have the context of your database, your schema, or your table structures. So to resolve this, we have MCP. I'm going to install it, and again I'll have to get my access token, for which you can either go to your Supabase and navigate on your own or simply click on this link right here. Now this link would directly take you to your account if you're already logged in. If not, it will take you to a login or sign up page where you'll have to sign up, create a project or just an account, and then you can create project using your MCP itself. Right now, as you can see, I have a few tokens right here. To create new one, simply click on this generate button and name it and set an expiry date. That's it. Generate the token, copy it. As soon as you save it, your Supabase MCP will be enabled. Again, you can check out the different tools that are available right here and turn off the ones that you don't require. We can see this MCP in motion in the upcoming live project that we'll be creating. Also, one more useful MCP would be the Vercel MCP for deploying your application, or even Netlify, because that's also an option to deploy your application. So check this out. If I click on installing Netlify, it will again give me a link which will be the process we have already followed for the previous two MCPs. So I'm not going to show it again, but you get the point of how to configure your MCPs. If there is not a direct link from your installation, you can also ask your agent on steps to find your access token, and then you can configure it. Finally, the last thing that I want to talk in this topic right here is how you can manage your MCPs. Now you'll see a manage MCP button right on top. If you click on that, you will see a list of all the MCPs that have been installed in your Antigravity. Right now I have 3 different MCPs. First one is the GitHub, second is Stitch, and Supabase. Previously, when I was talking about that there is a limitation on the amount of tools that can be enabled at a single time, this is what I was talking about. There can only be 100 tools configured, and if you have more than that, you'll have to disable a few of them. So right now we are at 81, so we are good. Maybe if we are going to add in a few more MCPs, then we'll have to turn off the tools or the MCPs that are not being used. Another thing that you should know is we connected MCPs using the UI, but the application or Antigravity actually writes it in a configuration file called mcp settings.json, and to view that you can click on this view raw config. Now this can be useful for someone who's trying to create or add in an MCP that's not already available in the MCP store. So if you're planning on doing that, this segment is important for you. Now in your raw file, you'll see something like this. This is a JSON file where you can find all your different MCP servers the command that is used to run it, and the arguments that can be used with the command. Now, let me break it down to you. As you can see, you have 3 different MCPs, right? Each MCP start off with the name of the MCP. Like this is Stitch MCP, this is GitHub MCP server. So in case you're trying to configure a new one, you'll have to name it just like this. Let's say we are trying to configure MongoDB MCP, so we'll name it MongoDB MCP and then start an object. In the object, you'll have to add in 4 strings. First would be the type of MCP that is being used, the command that's used to run the MCP, and the arguments which can be used with the command. Like this one here, you'll use npx as the base command, and then the arguments which will be used with npx would be mcp remote, and then the link of your MCP. In case you're configuring MongoDB, then the link would be something like mongodb.com, and then your local server port that you'll be using, as well as a key if it's an online service. Usually you don't have to actually configure everything on your own. The MCP provider would usually give you a JSON and you just have to add it after your already configured MCPs. So let me close this out. MCP is the mechanism that transforms your agent from a powerful code generator into genius development collaborator. It connects the agent to the real world, your real database, your real repository, your real deployment. We took a look at the GitHub MCP, Supabase, and Vercel, but there are a lot more to explore if you're looking for different functionalities. So we are a step closer to creating our next project right after I explain to you what skills are and how to configure them. Alright, we have covered a lot of things till now, starting from the interface, security, agent manager, rules, workflows, and MCPs. But there's still one layer missing. It doesn't know how to think about your specific workflow. It doesn't know that when you build an animated website, you prefer GSAP over CSS animation. It doesn't know how you approach any of your problems. So, to bridge that gap, we are going to be using skills. Now, before going into that, let's clear up some confusion which you might feel. Skills, rules, and workflows look similar on the surface. They are all a way to give your agent context and instructions. But they are fundamentally different in purpose and trigger mechanism. Rules are always on, either globally or for specific website, for specific workspace, loaded into every session and tells the agent how to work. Workflows are manually triggered. You type /workflow name and the save prompt fires. It's for the things that you do repeatedly. Now, skills are semantically triggered, meaning you don't explicitly invoke them. The agent detects from your request that a specific skill is relevant and loads it up automatically. Skills are capability packages, deep specialized knowledge about how to do a specific type of task. The power of skill is that they don't load agents' context with irrelevant information. The knowledge of skill only loads when you're building a particular project that is relevant to the skill itself, meaning it provides token efficiency and precision simultaneously. Let's talk about how skills should be structured, where to keep them, and how to integrate them into your workflows. So, we'll be creating a directory in our main workspace, like just a simple folder called skill. Then in here we are going to create a file called skill.md. Now this skill.md is going to be a structured file that gives all the detail about the skill that you want to use in your workflow. The basic structure of the file would look like this. So this is the most important part of your skills file. You would have to give a name for your skill and a description of what exactly does your skill do and when to be used. So this is just the definition of your skill, but the actual content would go over here. Now, your skill file would look something like this. This is my preview of the markdown file, and this is what the skills body should have. Skills body would be basically just instructions, details on what exactly to do, what are the steps, what should be the output, what are the rules and references. So you have to cover all that in your skill MD body. Lastly, but this is optional, but you can add some more documents or scripts in your skill folder if you want to, or if you have repetitive resources. So the structure for the same is given right over here. But make sure no matter what, you need to make a skill.md even if you're not adding any optional resources. So now that you have understood the skills.md structure, you can't truly understand it without an example. So let me show it to you. So here's my skill introduction. Let me replace it with an actual skill introduction. And the skill we are creating is going to be used in our project, which will be a product animated website, which is why we are creating scroll animation skill. Here's my introduction. The name is scroll animation. Description is to use this skill when building a scroll animation. And then I've added triggers, which will be the words or phrases that are used in prompt indicating that this skill needs to be used. So the triggers are scroll animation, scroll scrub, scroll trigger, parallax, scroll based, animated on scroll, which is pretty much covering all the different combination of words and phrases that can be used in our prompt in case we need this skill. Up next, we are actually going to add in the body of our skill, which will give you a better idea on how exactly you have to write your skill files. So here I've added all the different details, like different modes of animation. The skill has a core pattern where the core concept has been added. To get a better understanding, I'm going to open it in a preview. So check this out. This skill has 4 different modes and each of them has different functionality. After that, all the different mode has code snippets that needs to be added, rules to be followed, and other requirements according to each mode of scrolling. And I might have cheated a little bit and used AI to generate my skill. I mean, this is where I got it from. It's my Claude chat where I gave the description of exactly what skill I wanted to create, which was a scroll skill with different modes. So it created me a skill file, then all the different modes in-depth file as well. So I can attach that into my skills folder as a reference and it would function really well. Now you can either take this approach to create skills, which is using AI, or you can search for skills or create your own. When I say search for skills, I mean you can go on to GitHub, search for specific skills. Like I have a few of them and I would like to share it with you. First off is this repository right here, which is named Awesome Agent Skills, and it has a collection of skills that are actually published by leading development team in the specific companies like Anthropic, Google, etc. Now this is the table of content, and as you can see there are a lot of skills, starting with the official Claude skills. Then you have skills from Supabase, Gemini, Stripe, Cloudflare, you name it, and you bet you will find skills from any and every platform available. Now, along with the link to the skill, you'll find a little description of exactly what it is used for. Most of the platform has a skill called best practices skills. Now, let's see if we click on any of these skills, it will take us to a directory which has skill.md for that said skill. All we have to do is either download the skill.md or we can copy paste it into our directory. Check out the content of this best skills practices for Vault Agent. Like I said before, it gives us the most important introduction of the skill, having name, description, and metadata. Up next, we have when and what to use, then a layout of the skill, and quick snippets of the codes and other information that should be used, including resources. So if you're looking for official, trusted skills and not just AI generated ones, you can check out this GitHub repository. Along with that, I also have this particular skill, which is this right here. It's by Leon. It's called Day Skill, and this is for front end and UI UX designing only. Now, this skill is basically to enhance your output more and create more premium and luxurious looking website. As we know that Antigravity mostly gives us beautiful front-end results, this would only enhance it further. To access this, simply go to skills option, or you can even copy the link of your GitHub and directly ask your agent in the chat that use the skill to create this specific website. And trust me, it would work. But if you want a deeper dive into different skills and how to write them, you can refer these. They are all different skills for different kind of website. Now that was a little dive on skills and how they make your workflow as well as responses and output better. Now, before we move on to our project, there's one more file worth understanding, that is agent.md. You must be thinking, another markdown file? Seriously? But trust me on this one, all of them have their purposes and they all make your output much better. So agents.md lives in your project root. It gives the agent persistent knowledge base for the project, a living document that captures architectural decision, project context, and established patterns. Think of it as a README written specifically for agent rather than for humans. It will have all the different information regarding your project. So it's a good practice to include agent.md, skills.md into your project directories. Now, instead of boring you with theory, I'm simply going to show you agent.md for the project that we are going to create, and then I'll walk you through it, which will make it easier for you to understand. So here's what my agents.md looks like for my perfume website, which is what we are creating. Now, it starts off with the project overview, which defines exactly what we are trying to create in simple paragraph. Up next, it has defined the asset inventory or the usage for them. So basically, we are going to be creating an animated hero section which will require a video, and then in another section of our website we are doing a 360 revolve of our product. So both of those assets have been added over here and the usage for them has also been described in the file itself. Up next, we have the tech stack. So I switched around my agent.md a little bit because the framework and tech stack was not really what I wanted, but this is the updated version and it's looking much better right now. So I have for the framework Next.js, then the language is to stick to TypeScript. For styling, I'm using Tailwind CSS instead of just normal CSS because I prefer that better, and also I'm using dark and light mode in the website, so it would be more easier using Tailwind. Up next, I have the library for my animation listed out here, as well as libraries for my font, theme, and icons as well. Now, this is something that you should take care of. This is the project structure. It tells exactly which component should go where. I mean, if we take a look at this, it looks really complicated to us, but it's really necessary for our agent to know how to structure our entire project folder. Or else we might end up with everything in a single folder, who knows. So you can define the project structure according to how you usually prefer your code to be like. Common practice is to divide your code into a few different directories, like there will be an app folder which will have the layout, pages, and global CSS. The components will have each and every component that are used in pages. Then there will be a utility directory which will include a utility file to configure, let's say, themes and layouts or icons into your website. Apart from that, there will be a second directory right next to your app directory, which will be the public directory having all your different assets including the videos, images, etc. Next up, you'll have the design system. I have a particular vision in my mind of creating dark website, and then we'll have light mode to switch it up. So here I have defined a color palette for my website as well as typography. After this, I've noted down some principles that I want in my website. Like, I want my website to look quite minimalistic and luxurious, so there is spacing philosophy as well as motion philosophy, because both of those factors will affect how your website look and feel. There isn't any website without any spacious layouts and smooth scrolling. So that's what has been jotted down over here. Up next, we have sections of the website. It would differ from every project to project, so you can list out all the different sections you need in your website and add in details like this. Up next is the theme toggle implementation that I talked about already. So that's where our provider.tsx comes in handy, and I've added a little code snippets to help it out with the theme toggle implementation. Up next, we have GSAP synchronization as well as performance rules. All in all, I've put down everything that I think my agent would require to create the best website. Now that's the whole purpose of your agent.md. This will be the starting of your project, and it will be added to your prompt whenever you start prompting in any workspace. This whole file will be added to your prompt, and the agent will read all the project requirements as well as the description that you have provided and work accordingly. Now here's the part which most developers miss out. Agent also contributes to your agents.md. When it makes a significant architectural decision during a task, it appends a note at the end of your agents.md. So your knowledge base grows as the project. We'll check out at the end of the project whether or not the agent has added something to our agent.md. Now it's the time to actually build the project that we have talked so much about. So I've added my assets of the video that I want in my hero section, and here's what it looks like. This is the video, and that will be playing while we scroll through the website. Now, I'm going to be using multiple agents to do so. One of the agents will work on how to convert this video into sets of images that can be played when we scroll through the website, and the other agent would work on creating the template website. As we already have everything required in our directory, like the agent.md and the skills, so I'm simply going to use a quite basic prompt. First off, I'm also switching to Gemini 3.1 Pro and using the planning mode for this conversation. Check this out. I'm simply using a single line prompt, and the agent.md will be attached with this prompt before this prompt actually, and that's why we won't need to add anything much. So I'm going to hit this send, and also I'm going to open up my chat manager, and in here in our working directory, I'm going to ask it to create a Python script to turn videos into sets of images. So I've added this prompt to create a script to convert video into sets of images, and now I'm going to refer the video that I'm talking about. It's in assets, and this is what it's called. So I'm going to send this over. Now let's wait for both our agents to finish working. As you can see, this is agent number 1, where we asked it to create a luxurious perfume website, and it's now analyzing agent.md on its own because that's what it does. That's the whole purpose of agent.md. And back in my second agent, it's asking me to run some commands to install library in Python. Alright, so this is what we get for using planning mode. It has given us an implementation plan which lays out everything that needs to be done and the sequence that it's going to follow. Now, you now have the option to either proceed with the implementation plan, or if you have any changes to make into your website implementation plan, you can simply add in a comment onto the line where you need the changes to be made. Alright, so my application is now ready, and as you can see, here is a walkthrough that has been created by the agent itself, where it is talking about all the changes that were made, the section and the automated testing that was run using npm run build. As for my other agent, I asked it if it has extracted the frames for the video that I've provided, and it showed me the path where exactly those frames were being extracted. So let's check that out as well. It told me it's in public, and as you can see, my frames have been added to this public folder right here. Now what's left to do is ask my agent to run this command and actually open the application. So I'm going to ask it to run the application. Okay, so now I have a link to my application and I'm going to open it, and here we go. This is our current website. This is where our hero scroll spacer, the animation would go, and now if I scroll down, you can see a beautiful about me section. Then here's where our product reveal animation video will be added, and these are a few different product info like what are the nodes of this product, etc. And this is a product card. Now all that's left to do is actually add the assets into my website. So far we have all the features that we wanted. This is the dark mode. If I click on this, it turns into the light mode, which is pretty good and functioning as expected. Also, do you see this smooth scrolling effect? It's just perfect. All that's left to do is to add our videos. So let's do that, and the website will be completed, at least the front end part. So now I'm going to ask my agent, which was the first agent, to go through the public library and use the image sequence, turn it into a scroll animation, integrating it seamlessly in the website itself. So here's the prompt that I'm going to be using, which is referring perfume sequence folder as well as the Revolve 360 video, which will be added to our product reveal section. Now both of these changes have been assigned, and if you're interested on how I got this video in the first place, let me show it to you. Well, it is a kind of long process, but I won't get into details. I'm just highlighting the tools, the prompts, and the results that I got. Starting off with Google Gemini, I already had this product image right here, and I asked it to create another image of the same bottle, same product, same setting, everything to be same. Only the difference would be that the product is broken into pieces. So here's the result that I got. Then I simply downloaded this result, and then I went to another platform by Google called Google Flow. Now in Google Flow, I uploaded both of those images, but the issue was that both the images were in a portrait mode and I wanted a video in a landscape setting. So I uploaded both the images and then used a prompt that turned this image into a landscape using this prompt, which was simple, make it 16:9. I used Nano Banana Pro, which you can switch out from over here. Here also I used the aspect ratio, and that's about it. You simply upload an asset from over here, then you can enter in prompt to either edit the image or create a video out of it. Now to create the video, I use this video setting right here. In this you have a few different settings, but this is what I used. I used video frames that will let us add start as well as end frame of our video. Next up, I chose the orientation and number of videos I had to generate. Also for the model, I use 3.1 fast because that takes less credits than quality video, and I just wanted a simple video which won't require much of thinking or anything. So then I added the start frame as well as the finish frame and added a little prompt to go with it. This was the exact prompt: a slow cinematic transition of a bottle suspended in mid-air, and then it just breaks apart, the liquid flows out, the glass shatters, And there are a few details like cinematic lighting, photorealistic, hyper definition, etc. etc. Make sure you add those in your prompt so that your video doesn't end up to be a disaster. After that, I hit send, and this is the video that got created. Now, I exported it using this download button here. Make sure you download the upscaled version so that it gives you the best quality video. Also, for a change, I actually used one of my local video editor to reverse this video so that it looks more dramatic in the website. So it starts off as a broken bottle, and as we will scroll, it will turn into a fully new premium bottle. Okay, so check this out. Our agent is actually working on previewing the changes that it had made, and it's testing out whether or not the functionality is as we have expected. And this feature of Antigravity really fascinates me, that agent works on its own to test out the application it has just created. So are you ready to see the actual animation that we are going to have on scroll? Because here's what it looks like. If I scroll down, my perfume bottle is going to come together looking perfect. And then here's where our website starts. This is the philosophy section. Now this is the second video that we have added. It's a revolving product display, and then we have the usual. So the hero section was the highlight of our website. And just check this out. I mean, I'm literally so obsessed with this animation. Now, so do you see why we had to change up so many things, add so many files, and configure a couple of rules and workflow? In case you have forgotten what our first project looks like, let me remind it to you. This was our first website, and as you can see, it's good according to the design we provided, but it doesn't have the attention grabbing capabilities that this website right here has. And also this is more well designed and structured because of the agent.md as well as the skill file that we have provided. Now moving on, we'll have some more use cases, not any new concept but new ways to use the concept we have already learned. Previously, when I explained about MCPs, I talked briefly about how you can configure your own custom MCP servers into Antigravity. This can be useful for all the different tools which are not only useful but aren't even present in your MCP servers right here. So the MCP that we are going to be configuring is Airtable. For those of you who don't know what Airtable is, it's used by a lot of small teams that run their entire operation out of Airtable. CRM pipelines, project trackers, content calendar, order logs, hiring pipeline, etc. It's essentially a spreadsheet that grew up into a database. The problem is there is no built-in Airtable MCP in Antigravity. So right now, if you want to check your project status or pull a summary, you have to leave your editor, open Airtable, manually read through the records, and then come back. Good news is you don't have to write the MCP from scratch. Airtable already has an MCP, it's just not available in Antigravity store. Meaning we'll have to manually configure it into our mcp config.json. Now I pulled up the documentation of Airtable MCP server, and in case you are getting some sort of error or not able to configure it following the steps that I'm about to show you, you can simply visit this website. But saving you the reading time, I'm just simply going to show you the steps that you need to follow in order to configure your MCP. We're going to start off by creating an Airtable account. If you already have one, you can skip this, but I'm just using my Google account to sign up for free. Now once you're in, it will ask you to provide some detail about yourself, and that will give you a suggestion on what your first build should be. But we are not interested in building anything as of now. Instead, we are going to get our personal access token and then let Antigravity build something for us. So for that, you'll click on this profile icon, go to accounts, and in your account overview, you'll see an API section. Here, click on the go to developer hub. Now this is your builder hub. In here, you'll have to click on the personal access token and create one for yourself. It's similar to what we did when we were configuring the MCPs available in Antigravity store, but this time around we are going to be adding that manually. So I'm going to create a token named Antigravity, and now this is the important part where you have to assign scope for this token. If you don't get this correct, you might end up not being able to access your tables and bases. So click on add scope, and in here you have to give 3 access. First is data record read, then data record write, and lastly schema basis read. That's it. In case you have some other use cases, then you can go through the scopes. You will find a little description under your scope accessibility that you're given, and you can choose the scope accordingly. But the basic is just data record read and write, and schema basis read is for more semantics like number of tables that you have, what are the names, field type, etc. Next up, you can select the amount of access you are giving, like what databases are being included in this token, what resources, etc. Right now I don't have any resources or databases, so I'm just going to add all the resources, meaning all the current and future bases in current as well as future workspaces will be accessed by this token. But if you have specific base that you are working on, you can simply click on add base and it will list out all the workspaces and bases that you have. So once that's configured, simply create the token, copy it, and now is the time to add it into our MCP configuration file. Back in Antigravity, go to more settings. In MCP servers, go again into manage MCP servers. In here, click on view raw config, and here's where you'll be adding your MCP. See, I've already told you how you can add a new MCP, and I'm about to show you exactly that. So after your Supabase MCP or whatever your last MCP is ends, you'll have to add a comma, and then you have to add in this code to add the Airtable MCP. So this is the code. It is simple. You have your MCP name, the URL for the MCP, which is simple, and then there is the header, and here's where you'll add your personal access token, and that's it. That's the whole configuration. Once you add your personal access token, we are going to head back to manage MCP, and in here we are going to refresh it so that our MCP should show up over here. See this? It is now configured. We have all the different tools in our Airtable configuration. Now that's the pattern for any community MCP server. Find the package name, a page where it tells you how to configure the MCP, get your credentials, and simply add an object to your MCP config JSON. The protocol is standardized, so the connection process is always the same. Now let's put this MCP to actual use. We are going to go back into our agent, and now we are going to be creating a sort of backend for our already created website. It's not exactly backend, but we are adding an additional feature of newsletter to our website, where our viewer will be able to subscribe to our newsletter and we'll be collecting their data. This is to showcase that Antigravity doesn't only make good looking website, but they are actually functional as well. So what we are building right now is an API route that receives a form submission, validates the input, writes a record to Airtable via MCP, handles error, returns the right status code, meaning it's a multi-step conditional branch logic heavy work, which is why we are going to switch up our model from Gemini 3.1 Pro to Claude Opus 4.6. As I discussed before in our model selection section of the video, that each model has a task, has a strength that they play on, and Claude Opus is really good with backend. So I've switched to the model. Also, switching model helps with token efficiency as well. I mean, if you're on a free plan, you can create your front end using Gemini model, and then the backend can be handled with Claude Opus and you won't hit any rate limits. Now let's get into prompting and giving instruction on exactly what we are trying to build. Okay, so here's my prompt and it's kind of detailed, giving exact instruction to our agent because I don't want it to mess up anything and I want everything to be in exact format as I say. So I've given instruction on the root of my API, the method to use for form submission, and the fields that should be added into our form. Also, I've added the statuses that needs to be configured in our API and the messages that will be displayed on error and on success. So I've sent it over and let's wait for the results. Okay, so we have got our newsletter, but the Airtable part has not been configured because we need to create a base and then provide Antigravity with the base ID as well as our personal token inside our env. So we're going to do that. Here I'm in my Airtable, I'm going to create, and this time around I'm going to create a blank app. Now for the fields in my table, it has to be name, email, signed up at, and sources. So I already have name. I'm going to add an email field over here. You're going to click on this drop down, edit the field, and then change the name to email, and also change the type to if there is an email, there is. Then I'm going to save this and I'm going to add all the different columns that I need to add, just like that. Okay, so there we have it. I've created all the different fields that needs to be added into my base, and now I'm going to copy the base ID. But before that, I need to rename my base to newsletter subscriber, and that's it. Now to actually get your base ID, all you have to do is click on this help button right here and then scroll down. You can go into the API documentation and here's where you'll find your base ID. You see this, copy this, and back in your Antigravity, in your files, you'll see env local. Here you have to add your base ID, then also your table name, which is this right here, and I need to rename this to newsletter subscriber instead of my whole base. So now that's done. The table name has already been added into my env. All I have to do is add my personal access token and then the Airtable configuration will be done. So once I did that, I have sent this prompt that I've already added the information and the data that's required. Now you can go on test the connection for the Airtable MCP. Okay, so it has done configuring the provided base and also it has tested it out, and it's time for us to test it out, and here's what it looks like right now. So these are the two things that were added, this newsletter right here and this footer, and I'm going to test out this newsletter by adding in a demo email as well as name that I have. So there we go, and that's it. We got a success message. Let's check out our Airtable to see if the entry has been made or not. And perfect, we have our entry with our mail, timing of the sign up as well as the source as website. So it's working, and that just shows how well Claude does its job at creating backends for you. So we just learned how we can configure any third-party MCP without it even being available in our MCP store, and then choosing different models for different purposes to make our output more efficient. Going forward, we are taking it a step further and bringing in our third and final project, which will be an automation. Okay, so we did build a newsletter sign-up form and watch the subscriber record land in Airtable in real time. The form is live, the data is flowing, but right now the data is just sitting there. A record appears in Airtable and nothing happens. Nobody gets notified, no follow-ups goes out, the lead goes cold. That's what we are changing in this module. We are building an automated lead management pipeline entirely inside Antigravity. new subscriber comes in, gets scored, your team gets notified on Slack instantly, and a personalized welcome email goes out automatically. Zero manual step, zero third-party automation tools, just your agent writing the code that runs it all. Now, you must be thinking there are a ton of platforms that are doing exactly the same thing that I just described, but they do be costing you something. So instead of that, when you can take some time and create your own automation, why not do it? Because when you launch a product, which will be soon enough with this landing page, you will need to get leads. You would need customers. So how you respond to them in the first few minutes determines whether they convert or forget you exist. And this automation is actually customized to your personal brand, meaning it has lead scoring, which is really important because it scores every sign up that you have got. If it's a company email, that means you're getting more business. Higher intent equals to higher value. Next up, you are getting notification immediately. If there is a hot lead, you'll be notified right away. A Slack message with the name, email, and score lands in your channel. Also, the best part is the welcome email. Every single subscriber gets a personalized email, and this drastically increases the chance they remember you and your brand. Now, before we actually go into dispatching any agent with the task, we'll be needing a few credentials, so let's collect them first. First up, we would need a Slack incoming webhook URL. Again, the question would be, what exactly is it and why do we need it? So, an incoming webhook is a unique URL that lets you post messages to a specific Slack channel by making a simple HTTP post request. So you don't have to go into extreme and messy configuration. Instead, you just have to grab a URL. You're going to head to docs.slack.dev, and this is basically Slacks for developer, and you're going to click on your apps, which will open up this page right here. Here you're going to create a new application. Choose the from scratch option and just name your application whatever you'd like. I'm going to call it lead generator, and then you have to choose a workspace. So make sure before you head over to Slack for developers, you actually sign in with your Slack account and you already have workspace, I assume. In case you don't, you can sign up and create the workspace. It's pretty simple. All I have to do is sign up, name a workspace, that's it. So I'm going to choose my workspace, which is this right here, and that's it. I will create the app, and this will give me the app ID, secrets, etc. Basically, these are all the things that you'll get. But what we need is a simple URL. So in your sidebar, you're going to click on incoming webhooks. That's where you'll be able to create a URL. I'm going to turn this on, and now we are going to add a new webhook. This will ask you to select a channel in your workspace. So I'm going to select the new channel, and that's it. You can manage the permission and review exactly what permission have been given, but they don't seem to be loaded over here. So I'm just going to click on allow, and there we have our webhook URL. We are going to copy that, keep it handy. Up next, we'll require our Gmail app because we are sending email via node mailer with Gmail SMTP server. So Gmail doesn't let you use your regular password for this. You need to create an app password, which is separate 16-character password generated specifically for an app. You need to head over to myaccount.google.com. Then in security and sign in, make sure that you have two-factor authorization on, which is on in my case. If not, you can turn it on. Then search for app password in the search bar, and you'll get this security right here. And in here, you have to add in an app name. So we are going to do Antigravity, create. It will show up this password right here. You just need to copy it, and then you can add it in whichever app it requires for your Google access. So we got both our credentials. Now it's time to actually build the automation. So we are building a Node.js service that runs in the background. It polls Airtable every 60 seconds looking for a new subscriber record. And when it finds one, it will run three things in a sequence. It will look at the email domains and score the lead. If it's a personal domain, it will score it warm, and anything else is hot. Up next, it would notify the user on Slack on the subscriber's name, email, and the score. After that, it will send a personalized email via node mailer using the subscriber's name and the subject line and a genuine message sent through your Gmail account. So we'll be executing this in steps also. Like, I'll first create the lead scorer, then the Slack notifier, and lastly we'll have the email mailer. We can even do that simultaneously using parallel agents. So let's try that out. Here's my prompt for the lead scorer, and I'm going to submit it over here using the same model, which is Cloud Opus 4. And then in my agent manager, I'm going to start two different chats in our Malter workspace because that's where we are creating everything. And in here, I'm going to add in the other two agents to work. So for this agent, I'm going to be adding both my passwords. I mean, it's not appreciated to add any sort of API keys or password into your prompt. That's why I've added this line here to pull the credit from environment variable, and that's where I'm going to add all my credits like Gmail user, Gmail password, as well as my webhook URL. So I've added that to my env and also send this prompt out. Okay, so my mailer agent has done finishing the installation as well as writing the file for the mails to be sent out, and here's what the email template looks like. And right now this agent is working on actually integrating this lead pipeline with our newsletters so that every time a user signs up, those things execute smoothly. Okay, so all the integrations have been made. Our whole lead pipeline is now ready. So let's do a full test of the pipeline. I'm going to open up this website right here and I'll scroll to the newsletter page, and in here I'm going to add in another email, and now I'm going to subscribe. Let's see what all happens now. So I'm in. First off, I'm going to go check my Airtable. Okay, so my new subscriber has dropped in my Airtable. Up next, I'm going to see whether or not I've received a Slack notification with the score of my lead. And I do have a lead from my lead generation app, and as you can see, the name, email ID, as well as a score. Like I discussed before, the score would be warm if it's a personal email, and it would be hot if it is a corporate email. That means it's actually working, and it's in my new channel which I configured for this application. So it's looking so good so far. Last thing that I need to check is whether or not did I receive a welcome email, and I'm pretty sure I did because this is my mail that I signed in with, and here's what I got. It's really simple, very basic. It's text only, but we were just testing out the functionality, and if you want to take it up a notch, you can add customs HTML and CSS into this email, which will make it look more extravagant and more newsletter subscriber theme. But we were just testing out, so it did get our lead's name and it's functioning, so that's what matters. It doesn't seem like much, but it's a whole pipeline. One form submission triggered a lead score, a Slack notification, and a personalized welcome email, all automatically, all within 60 seconds. Best part, all of that built with Antigravity in under 5 minutes. And that was just a basic demonstration of how you can create custom automation and pipelines. The possibilities of things you can create with this workflow is literally endless. You can take it up a notch, add in few more modules into this pipeline, and call it a day, because automation like these would cost you fortune if you were to either use a platform or build it on your your own. So this feature of anti-gravity and this side of anti-gravity is the real game changer. And the best part is that this whole workflow didn't cost us anything. We were just using free APIs and saved us so much time. That brings us to the end of this video and the last module, which will mostly be about what are the outcomes we got from this whole masterclass, best practices, and a little challenge for you. So let's get into it. Okay, we have installed and configured Antigravity, built 3 real projects, a layout clone, an animated website, which then got an additional lead pipeline automation. You have mastered agent managers, planning mode, rules, workflows, MCP servers, skills, custom MCP development, and parallel agents. And this module is not a new feature. It's about the mindset. And this mindset is about to change the way your output looks. So picture this, 2 developers, same ticket. Now this is the ticket they got. And there are 2 developers. Ticket is pretty simple. Add a user preference page where user can update their notification settings. Now the first developer takes the ticket and paste it exactly as it is in the agent manager or the chat where he's trying to debug the problem. But what developer 2 does is that he adds in this prompt right here. He thought for a minute or two and then typed a detailed prompt telling the agent exactly what needs to be changed and how it has to go. What are the files, the formatting, as well as the output that's expected. So the same ticket, same tool, but 2 different approach to the output. And this would actually make difference in the time that takes the agent to create the output as well as the output itself. Now developer 2 didn't write more, they thought more. They specified what page to connect to, what patterns to follow, what edge cases to handle, and they gave the agent a target precise enough to build. Now that is the architect mindset. You need to make the decision, you define the target, you specify the constraint, then you hand the execution to the agent. And when you're not sure what you want, you can use agent to figure out, and the output quality drops sharply. So think first, prompt second. Let me show you 4 prompting upgrades that will take you from developer 1 to developer 2 with better results and output. These are the 4 habits. Every feature connects to existing code. Name those connections explicitly. Which hook, which utility, which table, which existing component are you trying to edit or create? The agent can infer, but explicit mention of the connection makes sure that the output is as you expect. Up next is using the reference pattern with the option. It's a feature that can help you out so much. So instead of just saying add authentication to this route following the pattern, you can say add the authentication and then refer the actual file that you want to add it to. It is more precise. The agent will read the file, understand the established pattern, and implement exactly what you want. So every code base has patterns. Point that out to the agent and don't just describe it in the words. Now, before sending any non-trivial prompt, spend 30 seconds asking what can go wrong. Every component, every functionality might have a breaking point. It can end in empty state or error state, loading state, invalid input, network failure, etc. So brainstorm over that and name all the edge cases that you can think of for agent to handle it. Otherwise, you'll end up with something so basic and it will break while you try to test it out. Now, at the very beginning of each project, make sure to use planning mode. Also, if you're working with anything touching more than one file, anything with architectural implementation, turn on the planning mode and actually read the implementation plan as well as the task list. 2 minutes reviewing a plan will save you 15 minutes of wrong code. So those were the 4 prompting upgrades that will make you a better vibe coder. Now here's something nobody warns you about. Your 40 messages deep in conversation thread, early on you gave a specific constraint about making all the databases call go through repository layer. But the agent produces a component with direct call. That's not because the agent forgot, it's because you are too deep in the conversation. The context is too long, so early instruction carry less weight than the recent one. And here are 3 ways to prevent it. Don't be a fool and set rules in the chat. There's a separate feature in Antigravity to add rules, so why don't you just use that? Rules are persistent. They can be either global or even workspace specific, but they are constantly in your agent's brain, so they don't drift. If you explicitly tell your agent not to make direct call to Supabase, the standard will live in the workspace rules, not in a message that might lose context in a few minutes. When you finish a feature and accept the output, start a new thread for the next one. This not only helps you with the context, but also will help you backtrack if you end up in some sort of pickle or some sort of error. As long as the feature is independent of the previous feature, you can follow this. Lastly, keep your agent.md updated. When the agent reads it at the session's start, your architectural decision loads as high priority context. So, adding non-negotiable in your agent.md or in rules is the correct way to do things. Managing context intentionally is the solution to the most common cause of inconsistent output quality across long projects. So that brings us to the challenge, and here's how this ends. Take the lead generation pipeline from the module 9, extend it, add a feature you'd actually use, maybe an admin view for the waitlist, an email configuration on sign up using MCP, a referral counter, anything. Apply every layer which we learned in this whole entire masterclass, like rules so agent knows your standard, a workflow so you can trigger the deployment with one command, a skill if there is a specialized technique involved, or something entirely new. Pick the idea you have been sitting on, break it down, set up your tools, MCP, skills, connection, and then dispatch it. Also, I did talk about deploying my website, but we didn't get around to it. But it's really simple. We are just using MCP, we are configuring it like I would be using Netlify. I would get my personal access token, and then it is simple as sending a text to my agent to deploy my website. It would get my authorization and deploy my website. Maybe you can test it out and tell me in the comments whether or not your MCP connection works seamlessly. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.